It is my pleasure to have my good friend back in the neighborhood, and that's Brandy in the neighborhood. Brandy, welcome back to the neighborhood. How you doing,
Thank
Queen?
you. I'm doing fantastic.
Brandy,
Still,
like I was just talking off air, you look like what I call foul footage. You look like you look like yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like
stop, stop
what
it.
what are you doing now? I understand that black don't crack for
Yeah,
some of us, you know. It
you
cracked
look
in
good,
my end,
people.
but what do you do to make sure that you keep yourself healthy, you keep that look, you keep that glow?
Well, I definitely try to keep myself as healthy as possible. Mentally
Right.
is a huge,
Yeah.
huge part of staying healthy. Having positive dialogue. Water.
Yeah.
Eating healthy. Having a balanced, healthy diet. All of that. You got to keep yourself up and keep yourself as happy as possible. I think
Yeah.
when you exude your happiness, it reflects on the outside. I really truly believe that.
And that is so true, especially when you said mentally and happiness. And now, Brandy,
Mhm.
we're in this pandemic, and it
I
can
know.
knock you down a couple tiers of your happy platform.
It
And I
can.
noticed also just on the B7, the album, there's bipolar.
Hmm.
Why was that written and sung and included on the album?
Well, there was a time I was going through just a very, very dark time. I was heartbroken. I didn't really understand. I was mad at love. I didn't understand why I was going through what I was going through, and it's just one of those songs that I felt that I needed to sing to kind of heal through and get through, and then just deal with some of the mental issues that I was going through. Like I didn't look like myself in the mirror. Like my
Right.
reflection changed. Because my heart was so broken, and that was a time where I just felt dark, and I just didn't feel like
Yeah.
myself. So I had to work through those issues, and I know a lot of people suffer from bipolar disorder and just mental issues in general. And I think it's really important that we take care of that. And in the Black community, it's a thing where it's like, it's a stigma. You don't want
Yeah.
to go to therapy. You don't want to go to
Yeah.
counseling. I think that I hope that that's changing, because there's nothing wrong with taking care of your mental health, because that's where it all is anyway. It's in the mind. When your mind is healthy, your body is healthy, your soul is healthy, everything else around you uh, can be healthy if your mind is taken care of. So.
Yeah, and I think also that we're starting to have a lot more dialogue, because it was kind of
Hmm.
closed off, and we as people, especially as blacks, oh, we don't need that. I'm not crazy. I don't know
I'm
such
not
and such.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to talk to no one. And like, yeah, we do
Right.
need to talk to someone, and that's
We
why
do.
now I'm so happy that we're starting to see it included more in dialogue. And at one
Absolutely.
point, like we were talking, Brandy, it was like you didn't even want to tell people that you were going through something because the
Yeah.
labels that they put on. And
Yeah. And the
I
judgment.
see, and music has been pretty much therapeutic for you. Do you think throughout your career, or even more so now?
I think throughout my career, music has been therapeutic for me. Of course, when you get older, you evolve, and then circumstances change, and you start to go through different things that you didn't necessarily go through when you were a teenager. But every
Right.
every um, every part of life has its phases. But now, as I'm older, I feel like music is just it's what I have um, to use to just get through things. It's the best way I can express myself, and also through just my writing and journaling and
Right.
meditation. I do a lot of different things to take care of my mental health and just my life in general, and then also to just be that example for my daughter so she can do some of the same things.
Right.
I mean, we all of this stuff is applicable, and if we apply a lot of the things that I'm talking about, we can all have a healthier way of living, for sure.
And Brandy, you've been in a position where I know so many people have come up to you and said, "Oh, your music got me through this. Your television show got me through this. When the times were hard, I will put Brandy on." And I know that throughout your whole career you have gotten that, but I remember at one point you were saying that you had stage fright. There were certain things. Did you know what that was back then, as opposed to now, when we do see something where it's like, anxieties mental wellness? Did you know what it was back then? Did you have a
Oh, I
label
didn't.
for it? Right,
I didn't have a label for it. I didn't have the language for it. I just know
right,
that I had gone through things. I know, I knew what fear was. I knew what nerves were. I knew,
right.
I knew what that was because I would feel it all the time. And then there was a moment where I was at a radio station and at like a summer jam or something, and I got completely booed. The entire audience booed me, and that was traumatic for me. At that time, I didn't know that was trauma. I didn't know
Right,
that was
right.
something that would stick with me to make me stage fright. For the rest for such, not the rest of my career, but for such a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was something to get through and to try to overcome. But a lot of people have their own differences, different situations where they go through trauma and they don't know it's trauma. They don't know to call it trauma or
Yeah.
PTSD, or the words that we have now where we can identify exactly what it is that we're experiencing, and then we could do something about it. But at that time I didn't know.
And we're in a different place now because being that that was, traumatic, and not to lay on that, and if there's 10, 15, 20,000 people there, whatever it may be, that can make anyone feel a certain way. And now when you fast
Absolutely.
forward, now we have this platform of social media where
Yes.
so much negativity come out of social
So much.
media
Yeah.
first. Like
Yes.
with your daughter, with you, with your life, how do you protect you, your loved ones, keep your sanity, social media? There's such bad first. You could bring out a new record. They say, I don't like it. Have you listened to it? No. you know, or I'm
Right.
wearing, why are you wearing them jeans? Why like
Yeah.
you can have 1,500 great things, and it could be that one. And it's not that
One.
we're weak. It could be that
Mhm.
one
One thing
that'll knock you
sets
off
you
your
off.
square. How do
You
you
know
deal
what?
with that now? And how do you make sure that your daughter, who's growing up in this, how does she deal with it?
Well, it's definitely a balance for her. Like,
Mm,
my daughter is not, she doesn't live on social media, and I make
praise
sure that
God.
that's the case. Even though she's 18 and she thinks she's grown, but she
Right.
doesn't live on social media. She doesn't post a
Brandy, it
whole
just it sounds crazy that you just said she's 18.
lot. She's 18.
Wow.
She's 18. But I have her involved in other stuff. She's into her music. She's into, her college, her school. She's really trying to grow into being, the kind of artist that she wants to be.
Mhm.
And my daughter, of course, she's gone through a lot of things in her childhood, a lot of,
Yeah.
things, that you experience in school and of course on social media. But she's developed a thick skin for it, and I'm so proud of her for that. And she's still developing, but I don't want her in this business too quick because of everything that does come with social media and that does come with people judging you and having a lot to say. And for me, I don't live in my comments. I don't live
Right.
I don't live in my comments. I'll see a few comments, a few positive ones, and then I'm out of there. You know,
Do
I
you
can't. I
get do
can't.
you get gun shy of what you put up? Like, oh, okay, they're going, like, let me tell you what messed me up for Instagram. At first, Instagram was just a small picture. And then when they got to where you could put the fingers and blow it up, I was like, ah, like, man, do you think twice before you go, or you just kind of let it go and fly?
I'm getting better with my social media
Right,
because for a minute I wasn't really posting. I don't live my life that way. That's
right.
not how I live my life. But I know that that is the way that I can engage with my fans, and because I love music so much and it's new music out, and that's the way to go now. But again, I still balance everything out. I still can be a lot more active on social media, but I'm not.
We got Brandy in the neighborhood. Brandy, we just saw a record breaking
I
versus
know.
with
I
Brandy and
know.
Monica. And I think
Yeah.
first off, I think I heard the public call out for that one first. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yes.
How
Me
did
too.
you feel when you saw the public asking for it, and how did you approach it when it became a reality?
Well, when I first heard about it, at first I thought that Versus was such a great platform to
Right.
give artists a chance to really, uh, dive into their catalog and take a moment, especially during this pandemic, to share music because people need music right now, more than anything right now. So I thought it was a great platform for that. And then when I was approached to do it, and when people were, throw my name out there. I was like, that would be a lot of fun to share my music, and then to share music with another person that I've worked with, another great artist that I've worked with. I thought it would be a celebration, and that's exactly what it was. It took a minute for us to pull it all together, but
Right.
once we pulled it together, like, it was better than I could have ever expected. I had so much fun. I didn't want it to end. It was like 2.5 hours, and it didn't feel like
Yeah.
it was that long. It,
And
it
you know
felt
what
like,
I love about it? It was, of course, his verses and verses started off another way,
mhm.
where this one also felt like a celebration. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
it
You were
did. It did.
celebrating two queens, you were celebrating a great catalog, you were celebrating memories, and you were celebrating growth. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, from whatever goes on in two younger ladies' lives, and then
Hmm.
to sit next to each other and celebrate the music. Sometimes
Yes.
we didn't get a chance to see people make it out of their so-called situations or whatever.
Yes.
So to see
And
you two
sometimes it doesn't
queens,
happen. Yes.
yeah. So to see you two queens sitting there, how empowering was that for you? And what did you feel about how empowering that must have been for Monica as well?
I think it empowered the both of us, and I think it showed so much growth, and it really showed that music and unconditional love is really what it's all about. And I just don't feel like anything that we had gone through in the past, was worth, not coming together to,
Right,
to have the feeling of unity and celebration. I mean, nothing happened that bad to where we couldn't come together to
right,
to, to celebrate each other, and I love that, and I feel like to be able to communicate that to her, to be able to tell her how much I care for her and love her music and what she has stood for, her longevity, and just being an example, being a great mom, going through all of the things, like we know what Monica has been through, and for her to still be here, still standing, it is just, I mean, I'm honored to sit next to an artist like that, to a person like that. So it was just really important for me to tell her that and get that off, and to really be able to show that to her. And I was so glad that happened. It was a blessing for me, and I was able to heal and forgive a lot of myself, and forgive
right.
a lot of the things that happened, and a lot of the things that people were saying in our ear that we bought into. It's half the time it wasn't even us. It was the people that was, in our ear, that wanted us to be competitive. But no, I came in there with the boys' mind. I wanted to
Yeah.
work with you, girl. I wanted to sing with you. I wanted to collaborate with you. And that was the truth. And that's what I wanted people to know.
Were you ever hesitant, Brandy, at first? Not just Monica, but even just with you putting yourself again on a kind of a public platform where we can't control what's coming up the screen, or
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah, because it's live, and I was so nervous. You know what I mean? I was so nervous. I wanted it to go right. And technical difficulties. I didn't want the music to mess up. I didn't want
right,
anything I wanted it to go smooth. And so, of course, and then you want people to see your intentions.
right,
And sometimes, because people are looking through their own lens, and because they're looking through their own judgments, or what they want to see, or what they think they see, my thing was, I wanted people to see my intentions, and I wanted people to see her intentions.
and you
and
know
and
what?
I hope that's what everybody saw.
It definitely played through, and it was
Good.
so-called bigger than music, because I was
Yes.
at the house, we were watching it, and we had the sound system up, and my wife and I, we watched it as as a couple of family. We were dancing, and I was like, dude, there are
Yes.
literally millions of people around the world having
Yes.
this same vibe,
Mhm.
because music, of course, is universal. It's nostalgic, and
Mhm.
then it was times when you ladies would put on something branded. I was like, oh my God. So it got you back into catalogs, it took you back into
Mhm.
Apple, it took you to your moment of time. Like, I thought that it was a great verses. And then when I
Thank you.
saw that it was a record breaking, out of all the verses that we've seen, and there have been some great ones. How did you
Great.
feel when you know that you ladies had the record breaking verses?
I mean, I still don't think that's really settled with me yet. I haven't really processed that yet, because, like you said, it's been so many great ones. And, it, like, for 3 months, versus was like a dream. It's like, this is a dream. And then it actually happens, and then it happens, and it goes so well. And then all of the record breakings, it's like, whoa, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm still not, it still hasn't hit me yet, but I can just definitely say that I'm so blessed because I still love music, big boy. I love
Yeah.
music so much, and to be able to, you know, just reinvigorate the catalog and for people to hear the new music as well as all of the other music that we both have done. Monica put out a new single. It just
Hmm.
it just feels right, and it feels like we did that together. We came together to help each other reach other people, heal other people. So I'm just so happy for that. I want to do a versus too and do a concert. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Something.
and that's what people were talking about. We were like, man, once we come out of this pandemic, we got to see the Brandy Monica tour. We got to see it.
That'll
And
be
the one that I'm
awesome.
on right
Come
now
on,
off of
keep saying it, because you got
I'm
that power. You can make that happen. You can.
man, everybody got to chant it. The one that I'm on right now is No Tomorrow and Say Something off of B7. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying? And the thing about it is, I thought once again that you put together a great body of music. And what I love about it too, Brandy, is that it sounds like Brandy. Like
Thank
you
you.
didn't play yourself. You didn't like, oh, what are people doing today? And you know, it just there's this timeless music that
Thank you.
people make, and I think that's why we can rock to verses today like we rock to the music yesterday. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying?
I
So with
appreciate
this
that.
album, not that it sounds like, oh, it sounds old. It just sounds like Brandy. And
Thank
there's times when okay, like, and that's life. You up. There's times
you.
when you're down.
Hmm.
There's times when you're
Yes,
thinking. And I thought that you put together like a great body of music for
I
B7
appreciate
as
that.
well. So we can't talk about just the great things that's in the past. You know,
Thank
the great things are ahead of us. You know what I'm saying?
you very
People
much.
look in the rear view mirror. There's some beautiful things that's in the windshield, the
Thank you.
front windshield. So don't get it twisted. Will we see a Moesha reboot?
I'm talking about it. I promise you, just because of the success of Moesha on Netflix, and
Oh my
we've been
gosh.
talking about it for a couple of years now, but to see it, really just do its thing on Netflix, and for people to really love it, it feels like we have a shot at making the reboot happen. And I would love to see what Moesha would be up to and all the other characters. And I think we have a lot of unanswered questions because it ended on a cliffhanger. So I
Yeah.
would love to see it.
Yeah, we've been hanging on, boy. Our fingers are tired right now. But you
I
know,
know,
like I was saying, you could walk back into Moesha and we wouldn't look like, damn, Brandy, whoa. You like I would walk in and you would walk in, I'd be like, dude, she looked like yesterday.
right?
Like she looked like yesterday. But Brandy, I really thank you for your time. We got to catch up. And once again, you know, you've always been extremely great to me, to my family. You've
Thank
been
you.
with the
Thank
neighborhood
you.
and been with me for years. I
Thank
love
you.
to see you continue to smile because I think that you deserve that. And thank you once again for sharing so much with us. You know what I'm saying? And
Thank you
peeling
so
off
much.
those layers as well because that's what we need. We need to see that we all have layers and you've exposed yourself and opened up a lot for us. Even with the new album as well,
Thank
that there's more layers that's being peeled off. And with something being therapeutic for you, it helps us as well. And that's what your music has been. You know, you take us to the club, but you also take us to great insights as well. So I thank you.
you very much. I appreciate you. I love you. I love your family. Thank you. I love your show, and just thank you for being one of the pioneers that never gave up. And you've been going and going and going, and that's just such an inspiration. And that helps people like me to keep going. So thank you for everything you've done as well, big boy.
Hey,
You're
baby.
the
It's
truth.
called
You're
veteran
the
and
truth.
relevant at the same damn time. There's no
Yeah.
expiration date on what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
Take care
you.
of you, take care of the family, and thank you so much, love it. And treat yourself the way you're supposed to be treated first.
I will. God bless you, sweetie.
God bless you. That's Brandy in the neighborhood, man. Big
Bye.
boys neighborhood.